What is going on, everybody? What is up? Happy Monday to you all. Happy Monday. It is August 19th, 2024. This is another live edition of Steve's Kitchen here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. We're also live over on Twitch. If you're on the YouTube channel right now, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share it through social media. Um, Wherever it is that you share videos. If you're on Twitch, hit the follow button, and all that wonderful stuff. As always, I am Steve. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and all that stuff. And yeah, just give me a sec here, everyone. Just give me a sec here. And there we go. Okay. But yeah, here I am. What's going on, everyone? I'm kind of doing this solo today. I know the boys got things going on, and here I am. We're doing the solo for now. I might be joined by a couple of people in a little bit here, but a lot went down, a lot to get into. First and foremost, I'm sounding a lot better from Friday. Friday was the day of my wisdom teeth removal procedure, and yeah, I went into it a little panicky, and all that stuff. Me and needles just don't, you know what I mean? And the idea of being knocked the fuck out and all that stuff. And crazy to think, right? Um, they put me in a room and they knock you out. Obviously, they knock you out, and literally, I close my eyes, I wake up, the whole thing is over, and I'm like, oh shit. Um, but yeah, I just looked in the mud per se, and needless to say, now like a couple days in now, I feel much better. Um, but here we are, nevertheless. But outside of that, this past weekend, a lot of stuff went down. I had two parties to go to. One was my godson's birthday, and then yesterday was my cousin's birthday. So all that happened as well. There was also UFC 305. I know a lot of people going into that were expecting Drake and Duplessis to lose to Israel Adesanya, and that did not happen. It was going on, Vampiro. What was going on? We'll even get into that also in a little bit as well. We'll even get into that as well in just a sec here. A lot to get into, all right? A lot to talk about, a lot to discuss here. Um, Believe it or not, I did manage to catch the Zack Sabre Jr. versus Yota Tsuji match from the G1 final. I know I really haven't been watching that much of the G1. It's not really. I always say that I am going to do it. I always say that I just don't. But I did catch the final. Oh my God, yes, I'm a bad fucking fan. Sue me. But what's going on, Safed? Hope all is well with you. Um, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that also in just a sec here. But what we're gonna get into right away. This whole thing that happened on SmackDown with Roman Reigns and the entire bloodline, right? Would he get back his Ulafala? Now, mind you, a lot went down on Friday. Um, I think it was Alpha who passed away, and the fact that they went out there to go on TV and perform still is commendable, very, very commendable. And you had obviously, Solo Sokoa calling out Roman Reigns, and Roman comes out obviously, and he clears out obviously Tama Tonga and all that stuff, and it's down to Roman and Solo and the Ulafala, and Roman gets his comeuppance, right? Roman gets his revenge, sort of. It seems right, and he lays everybody out, and everyone thought, okay, it's finally happening, right? Like the Ulafala is right there, and Roman goes to grab it, and he finally puts it on, and everyone thought, man, this is crazy, just like that already. And you got to know, like, nothing is always what it seems. Nothing is always what it seems in wrestling. So it'd been easy to just assume, oh, that's it, it's done, right? That's over with, right? Nah. Yes, rest in peace, Wild Samoans. Exactly, Safed. Um, but everyone thought that's going to be it. No, of course not. You would have been a fool to think that would have been it. Because then we saw Jacob Fatu with the work boot, lay out Roman Reigns, lay him out. Literally. And that's the one thing that, like, remember we were hearing reports that, they don't want Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns to, be in the same ring or get, touch each other right away, right? They're planning that for a later time and that stuff. And people were speculating that, that Jacob Fatu is really hurt, right? And there's a way to distance Roman and Jacob. And nah, from the looks of it, bro, Jacob Fatu let Roman Reigns know what's up. He literally did, literally attack Roman Reigns, had him in the corner, um, did all the stuff that you can imagine. And then we saw that ending, right, where they all managed to put him in. They managed to do to Roman Reigns, but the bloodline have been doing for so long, right? Putting everyone through the announcers table and all that stuff. And as you can see there, right, it ends with the bloodline, that being obviously um Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu, and of course Solo Sikoa, the tribal chief, pointing to the sky as Roman is laying there. And I want you all to keep in mind, look at Wade Barrett. Look at Wade Barrett on commentary, also putting the one up. It's so funny for what it is, right? But you come to the realization, right? You come to the realization Roman Reigns cannot do it on his own. And you also got to keep in mind too, like, yo, it makes sense. You just can't have Roman Reigns be dominant. Because here's the thing, right? You would expect by now we would have heard from Roman Reigns, like a promo or something, right? But no, we have not heard that. And it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, you know? I think also factor in, you know, what might happen. I'm not, don't give me the book at all, but if I were to, like, make a prediction here, right? I would probably have Roman Reigns not show up to TV for at least 2 weeks, at least sell this. The one thing that people need to also keep in mind too, right? Roman Reigns is a free agent. Roman was not drafted. Roman could easily go to Monday Night Raw and start recruiting because he realizes that, I can't beat this bloodline. I can't do it on my own, right? He's finally realizing that they're doing to him what he's done to so many other people throughout his time when he was on top, when he was champion, and he was beating everybody. He's finally realizing, yeah, man, I can't do it on by myself. And that's when we start seeing him try to reassemble the bloodline that we all have known and loved and cheered and booed, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? We ain't seeing Roman until September 13th when SmackDown moves to USA. That's possible too, Chief. It's very possible. And honestly, I keep it that way. Keep it that way. But until then, doesn't mean he can't go to Raw. Doesn't mean that. I think, again, we start seeing Roman Reigns slowly but surely, try to get in contact with a Jey Uso, with a Sami Zayn, and eventually Jimmy Uso. And of course, the wise man. Or if not, you know what? It may not even be Roman Reigns being there physically. You could have Paul Heyman, the wise man, who's loyal to Roman Reigns, be the one to go out there to Monday Night Raw and reach out to Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, try to make them remember and all that stuff. And then we're off to the races because that's where they're going with this. You know for a fact that we're going to get that bloodline Civil War games, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Quite frankly, I don't even think Rock is going to be involved in that. I don't think Rock, Dwayne, that is, right, is going to be involved. I think they might get Hikuleo. If we're being honest, I think we might get Hikuleo, but we'll see. But nevertheless, the big message that I got from Friday night, Roman Reigns can't do it on his own. Also, I want to talk about this real quick. I did see Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. Boy, they killed it. These two guys just have so much amazing chemistry on TV. It's not even funny. what they were able to do, right? This whole thing that, Melo has not been Andrade. Andrade always gotten the upper hand on Carmelo Hayes, right? I know early in the night he told Naomi, he told Jade Cargill, and I think also Bianca to watch his match and this and whatnot, and there'll be an after party after, right? And I thought the line was funny. At least I watch my matches though. I thought that was funny as all hell for what it was. And Carmelo Hayes picked up a W. You got to throw him a win eventually. You have to. And not for nothing, but after the match, Andrade wasn't having it. Went to beat up more on Carmelo Hayes. They were brawling for what it was, right? So I look forward to seeing where they go with this program. I think nonetheless, um, they'll continue this maybe for maybe one more match or something. I know they both have nothing going on at Bash in Berlin. So who to say, right? Like, hey, they get a match in Germany, right? Who knows? We'll see. Also on the show, I know people were talking about this because this segment was just terrible as all hell. The Nia Jax opening segment, I saw it for what it was. Listen, you gotta keep in mind the medication kicked in for me, so watching the whole thing, right, with Pretty Deadly singing and dancing and shit. For a second there, you're like, yo, is the old man back? It did, or maybe Paul wasn't there, and maybe was fuck, what was Bruce Pritchard running the show? Because that was just again, you may hate it for what it is. I thought it was cheesy, funny, but at the same time, kind of cringe, right? You could just tell Nia Jax did not want to be there. And then I don't know where Michin showed up and laid out Pretty Deadly with the kendo stick and all that stuff. So we'll see. Likely there's gonna be a TV match. I don't see that happening at Bash in Berlin though. You think WWE will compete with NFL because September 13th will broadcast the first football game in Brazil? Depends on the timing though. Because I don't know what time the Brazil game is going to be. And also, we don't know what time. I mean, obviously, we know SmackDown will be at 8 p.m. every single day, every single Friday, 8 p.m., right? I just don't know what time the Brazil game would be and who's playing, to be honest. I really don't know. It's possible. Who knows? Who knows? What's going on, man? What's up? Also on the show, let me see if I remember correctly here. What happened on SmackDown? Oh yeah, we did have the number one contender, the Street Profits versus a DIY going at it, and they killed it too. They killed it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Part of me thought DIY was gonna win, but no, they decided to go with the Street Profits to go with the win, and they're gonna be challenging the Bloodline for the tag titles. When? Not sure, but it should be a fun match nonetheless. All right. But that was pretty much SmackDown. That was pretty much SmackDown for what it was. I know they're also doing LA Knight versus Santos Escobar soon. So for the US title, that should be fun for what it is. And this whole thing with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, where Kevin Owens doesn't feel he deserves to be champion, to be challenging for the title, but Cody insists. Hopefully, we see a heel turn out of this. We'll see. We'll see how that goes too. I want to move on here a little. I want to move on here for a sec here. I want to get into what happened at New Japan. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I did not get to watch the entire G1 tournament. I'm a bad fan, I know. Oh my goodness. It's the end of the world. Oh my God. Lock me up. Throw away the key. I'm a bad noodle. But I did catch the finale between Zack Sabre Jr. and Yota Tsuji. I did catch it. Thank you, Chief. It's the Eagle versus Packard game. Starts at 8 p.m. Brazil's 1 hour ahead of us. Oh, crazy. So now I mean, we'll see. I mean, I really don't know. I think they will end up. We can remember. I mean, if they compete with the NFL on Mondays, Friday night, why not? Why not? But I did catch the match. Overall, I thought Zack Sabre Jr., Yota Tsuji killed it. They tore the house down. Just crazy back and forth. The idea is, was Yota Tsuji able to be the first guy to win both? Because he already won the New Japan Cup, right? Could he win both the New Japan Cup and the G1 in the same year? That was the thing, right? And I always said Yota Tsuji was that guy to keep an eye on, right? The guy has a look, has a size, he can do stuff in the ring that's fucking crazy to see. Um, and it just went back and forth. And it's just one of those things too for Zack Sabre Jr., who's been there for so long, right? And you wonder to yourself, can he finally do it, right? Can he finally, achieve a G1 tournament win, right? And it looked like there were moments where, like, yo, man, where Yota Tsuji had him, like he was working the body. They were focusing also on the body shots that Yota Tsuji was giving Zack Sabre Jr., which then led to him hitting the Gene Blaster. Eventually Zack Sabre Jr., when it was all said and done, folded him up in the middle of the ring, and for the tap out, not even tap out, just a virtual, like, a verbal, submission win, whatever you want to call it. But Zack Sabre Jr. become the second Gaijin to win the G1. The first one being Kenny Omega in 2016. And it's cool to see too, because, like, bro, Zack Sabre Jr.'s in the ring, he's celebrating, right? I know the tradition is the winner of the G1 gets a shot at the IWGP Championship at Wrestle Kingdom January 4th, but he decided to do things a little differently. He wants to, I guess, cash in his opportunity. See what I'm doing there? You see what I'm doing? He wants to have his title match not at Wrestle Kingdom, but sometime in October at King of Pro Wrestling, so that by then he can go defend the title once, if he were to win, which I think he will. He defends it at at the New Japan show that's happening in the UK. Just find out here. They're having a show in Crystal Palace. I think later on, but that's the plan though. That is the he wants to defend the title there in England, obviously. So there's that as well. Royal Quest. There you go. It's that Royal Quest. It's going to be at Crystal Palace, but he wants to defend the title in England, basically. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be on October 20th. That being the UK event for New Japan Royal Quest 4. It's going to take place on October 20th. So he wants to defend the title there. And I do think it's going to happen. I do think Zack Sabre Jr. does win the title. So we'll see what they do after. But nevertheless, good for him, man. Good for him. Now, also real quick, I want to get into this also. Because yesterday, myself, Romeo, Chase, we did a simulcast. We did a watch along, delayed, of Triple Mania from last night. Well, it was on Saturday night, but being that we all had things going on, we're like, you know what? We forgot all about it. Let's just be clear. We forgot all about it. We did. And we forgot all about it. And literally late Saturday, Romeo was like, you know what? Let's watch it on tape delay on Sunday. So, like, yeah, no problem. So that's what we did. We had Larry Dallas. He does commentary for AAA as well, like in English and all that stuff. He joined us for a bit. That was cool also. But again, it was on both my channel here on this channel, obviously the Around the Point Network, and also on True Heel Heat. And overall, the one thing with us when it comes to like AAA and all that stuff, we find it entertaining. We decided everything the first time, I think was last year, to watch all these Triple Manias. That's a must. We got to watch them. We have to. And even though, yeah, we kind of missed the live version of it because we had things going on. We were like, you know what? Let's watch this one for sure. And we did. And I know a lot of people were not happy with what they were given with the results of some of the matches. But I will say, overall, I found myself entertained. we got the retirement of Vampiro. Finally had his last match. A match that honestly I had no clue what the fuck was going on. I don't even recall him hitting the ring once. But he put someone in a casket, in a coffin, and that was it. And that's how he won. So there was that, right? Um, Also on the show, we had Nick Nemeth joined by JBL, WWE Hall of Famer JBL, as he went to defend his mega championship to Alberto Del Rio, Alberto El Patron, whatever you want to call him. And he lost. And after the match, there was this whole like back and forth between Alberto and a Latin lover. Conan got involved and they attacked the Latin lover. So there was that too. I mean, people were not happy with Alberto becoming, well, I feel like it's more of the US fan base who watched Triple Mania for what it is. They were not happy with the result. What do you want me to tell you? Also on the show, Matt Riddle defeated Commander and who's the other guy? Oh my goodness, I'm having a brain freeze right now. He defeated Commander and Laredo Kid to become the AAA Cruiserweight champion. I know people weren't happy with this either, but it did happen, and I'm not surprised at all. I am not surprised. And then, oh my goodness, this was just the cherry on top, yo. Raj Desi, the former Jinder Mahal, former WWE champion, teamed up with Satim Singh to become the AAA World Tag Team Champions. So there was that also. That was Triple Mania as a whole. Like as far as like big shocks and all that stuff and anything crazy that happened, and you know what I mean? So there was that. If you guys have questions for me too, drop in your questions as well, and we'll answer them. Eagles and Packers is on September 6th, not the 13th. Okay. So it's on the 6th. Thank you, Safat. Thank you. Also, on Saturday, like I did mention, it was UFC 306, and Drake Du Plessis shocked everyone. He upset everyone by defeating Israel Adesanya. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I had Izzy winning this fight. And I was wrong. I think everyone in general was wrong. I think anyone out there probably were betting on Stylebender to get his belt back. And it didn't happen. He got caught. It's crazy too because there's someone in the fight where he was showing like, all right, he might get this. He was piecing him up. But something about Du Plessis, man, he has the will. That's what it is. The will to not give up. He stuck to the game plan to try to take him down, right? Try to go for that guillotine choke. He went for it early on in the fight. Finally paid off, I think, near the championship round. I think it was round 4. And Stylebender tapped out. And tapped him out. Izzy Adesanya did not win, like I had to mention moments ago. And Drake Du Plessis ended up upsetting everyone in Australia. Now, the question here is as well, where do we go from here? I know that Alex Pereira, the UFC light heavyweight champion, said that, hey, he might come down to get his belt back. To which then Du Plessis said, no, I'll go up to fight you for your belt. So maybe that's in the horizon. Maybe so. We'll see. And a lot of fun stuff, but we shall see how that goes. We'll see. I didn't watch Collision like that, but I did hear some of the results that happened. I heard that Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes won the Ring of Honor tag team titles. I heard that one. I even heard people weren't happy with that. I know there's people who were very, very upset that they won the tag titles, and it was one of those things where, you have all these Ring of Honor tag teams, and you just give it to a makeshift team, and I'm not surprised. Doesn't really upset me. It doesn't, ruin my day per se. Also, the main event, you had, if I'm not mistaken here, you had FTR versus the Acclaimed, and the winner was going to get a shot at the Young Bucks at All In. and I believe it went to a draw, if I'm not mistaken here. Let me just see what Cage Match had to say, because I'm just curious here. What the fuck Cage Match had to say about this match and all that stuff. Again, folks, if you have questions for me, drop in your questions. It really would be appreciative if you have questions for me and all that stuff. Yeah, so that match went about, yeah, it went to a 30 limit, it went to a time limit draw. So as a result of all that, we're gonna get a three-way tag team title match at All In between the Young Bucks, the Acclaimed, and FTR. Um, I'll be honest too. Like I've seen a lot of people. You know, I've seen a lot of folks on social media. How do I say this? Who last year, when you look at All In, were excited, we're crazy for it. Right now, it doesn't seem that way. I'm not saying that All In is going to be a bad show, because it's not. It just doesn't have that same umph to it. Outside of the Bryan versus Swerve match, everything else just feels like in between, in my honest opinion. Um, how do y'all feel about that? Let me know. But nevertheless, I do look forward to seeing the show. In case you guys don't know as well, um, we are also doing All in the Mud too soon as well. Soon. So let me know. So we'll keep you posted on that one. We'll keep you posted on that one as well. Also, let me see what else is going on in the news here. Let's see what else is going on in the news here, if you will. I know there's discussions that what's her name? Soraya might be leaving soon. Her deal might be up. Also, there was also discussions. I don't know if you guys remember that, but during the Fan Fanatics Festival, they were saying that Rey Mysterio was going to be joined by a mystery partner. Everyone assumed that it was going to be Pentagon, all that stuff. No, it turned out it was Travis Scott who performed and all that stuff. So there was that also. I mean, nevertheless, I'm not really. Would you really expect Pentagon, considering the fact that his president is AEW? Um, come on, seriously. There's also discussion. There's also discussions here that Bryan he's working without a contract. This is from Fightful. Um, I guess they asked Bryan about his contract status, and this is what Bryan said: "I have no contract right now. I'm just not under contract, which is crazy." Um, so yeah, man, to think that Bryan Danielson might walk out of Wembley not only as the AEW World Champion, but also with no contract. So that's something to really just think about for a second. Like, damn, that's crazy. He might really walk out of this shit with the belt, but also not under contract. I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I hear that,
that risky.
For sure, 100%. I also mentioned Saraya. There's talk that her deal might be coming up soon, and there's talks to they might even renegotiate her deal. Honestly, what did she even do? Did she revolutionize the women's division in AEW? No. Besides that one match at Wembley last year where she had her family walk out with her and she got her brother a job. Outside of that, I'm good, bruh. If she stays for the paycheck, but honestly, yeah, we'll see how that goes as well. We'll see how that one also ends up happening and all that fun stuff, if you will. Also, it was announced today too that Pat McAfee this will be his last Monday Night Raw for now, because football season is starting, and I know he does college football. And I think also he does like a preview for I think also for the NFL for ESPN. I could be wrong, but this is what he said on his Instagram stories. Um, he posted on his stories that tonight's episode of Raw would be his last one for a while. Last Monday Night Raw for a bit. That's what he said, Pat McAfee, right? Uh, I'm very bummed. I'm very bummed out that tonight will be my very last trip to that wonderful WWE family for a while. All right, let's have a fun day. I'm bummed out. Football season is starting, which is awesome, but the WWE family is where I'm supposed to be. McAfee added, and I know that, and I hope they do too. And I think also Joe Tessitore is going to be starting real soon. I think on September 2nd, he'll be joining Michael Cole on Raw. So something to keep an eye on as well. Um, so nevertheless, I mean, listen, man, from the looks of it, it looks like Pat McAfee wants to really just jump into WWE like 100% from the sound of it, the way he's sounding on social media, um, and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that all ends up. Guys, listen, if you have questions, drop in your questions. God damn it, yo. If you have a question for me, drop in your fucking question. Let me know. Let me see what else is happening here in the news. Let's see what else is happening here. Um, let's see what else is happening here. Guy making me go through all these damn sites and shit. The fuck wrong with y'all? Um, oh yeah, there's also like, what was it? They asked Tony Khan about possibly bringing AEW to Las Vegas at the Sphere. They asked him. I guess he was interviewed by the Lebitard show, by Dan Lebitard, and he said, "I had some. He had some conversations about that, but I don't think. But I think it's a long, long way away. That's a long line to get into the Sphere." Basically, what he's saying is it's possible, but they just don't see it happening right now. And honestly, I don't see it happening either. Them ever going to the Sphere? Nah, I don't see it happening. To book the Spheres just sounds so fucking expensive. So I just don't see it happening, to be honest. So there's that too. Um, yeah. Let's see what else is going on here. Uh, let's see what else is going on here. Let's see. Let's see here. Guys, if you have questions for me, drop in your questions. God damn, yo. Alrighty, y'all. I'm wrapping this up, y'all. That's gonna be it for us. Thank y'all for watching. All right. You guys have been awesome. All right. We'll be back tomorrow for Raw Rundown. Yeah, listen, when I'm doing a solo show, expect these shows to be short. All right. That's gonna be it. Thank you all for watching. Rowdy, y'all. Peace.